Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our YouTube channel, Sisterly Conversations, where we'll be discussing a topic.
And the topic is, it's just so like a note, sir. Anyway, the difference grocery shopping over 5 years ago and now. So, first I will start off with where we usually grocery shop. Well, there's a lot of supermarkets around us, and we've shopped at No Frills, which is the one we mostly used to frequent back then, and sometimes we do it now. There's Food Basics, there's Fresh Co, there's Metro as well, and then sometimes you could also use like little markets and stuff. There's a flea market that also sells fruits and vegetables and so on and so forth. And recently, I am about to finish. And recently, we have more so started grocery shopping at Walmart. Before we used to just buy other things at Walmart, but now I find that it kind of makes more sense to grocery shop at Walmart since Walmart has everything there already. Like, for example, if we wanted to buy paper towel or toilet paper or anything like for what do you call it, like hygiene, I guess, like cream and roll-on or whatever. And then they also have like the electronics. They have Walmart. It has all the different sections, so technically you don't have to like go more than one place. So we find that's a lot more convenient for us. And then so to talk about grocery shopping back then and now. So first of all, grocery shopping back then was cheap. My goodness, like you could get so much for your money. Um, of course, like if you're doing healthier eating, it will cost a little more. But I find back then it was more affordable, and because like as I don't really want to talk about as kids so much because I feel like as kids we don't really like pay attention to those things. But I would assume, well, my mother, especially when she was living here at the time, she would buy things in bulk. She used to talk about that too. She used to buy things in bulk so that it will last us longer and stuff. I find we kind of do that now in a way, but we don't buy it in bulk like how everybody else buy it. Like we will just pick up more than one thing. Because like for example, with Costco, you could get like a bulk package, but we don't really buy the packages. But we just like let's say we'll pick up like 6 toothpaste or 6 dishwash or whatever. Like yeah, we'll just pick up like a bunch, and so we'll have that for whenever we need it. But things back then was cheap. Like I'm talking about, you will find breakfast products like hot dogs and different things for like $2, $1. Sometimes the tuna would be like used to be like 50 cents. I don't know. It was just cheaper to me. I'm not a big grocery shopping fan, but I do it when I have to do it, which is regularly anyway. But now I find 20 we started doing more of the grocery shopping. But yeah. So now I have to say, especially after COVID, I found grocery prices like really spiked, and I found there was a lot of what's the word now? There was a lot of wording coming to me.
Price gouging?
Yes, there was a lot of price gouging and different things. So I think they were just taking advantage at this point. Like people lost their jobs during COVID. People got laid off. People were struggling, whatever. And fortunately for us in Canada, like we had the government was giving us money, um, mostly for everybody because
everybody had to survive.
Correct. Even for like students and stuff, they were getting a fund as well. So, but I found not only groceries, rent prices, housing, everything just went skyrocket. I won't say that is over the top bad still because there's still times when you will get a sale.
Right.
So you will still have like things on sale and you can pick up at store or whatever. But the prices now are still incredibly higher than it was back then for sure. I mean, you could survive still, but it has gotten ridiculous. Especially when you look for meats and different things, it has gotten ridiculous. So.
What I would like to add to, not only after COVID the prices spiked, but then when the war happened between Ukraine and Russia, a lot of prices would have gone up due to um, the different taxes that you will have to pay. No, Donald Trump with the tariffs and stuff like that.
Right,
So
yeah.
things are getting basically worse, but it's still affordable. As Shanita said, the good thing is you can still find a sale in between. Cause I remember back then a big bag of rice that my mother used to get for maybe like $8 or so $7.
Yeah.
You know, it's now like going up to $13 and $14. The last time I saw it was like $16.99, and when it goes on sale, it's $12.99. You know, so I mean, as Shinda said, a lot of stuff have now gone up, but comparison to 5 years ago, I remember my mom would buy us hot dogs, nuggets, and it was next thing to nothing. And she used to buy like these small little the concentrated juices, like from Minute Maid or Fruitopia. Those things used to cost
That
maybe
was
like
more when
50
we were
cents.
younger,
Yeah,
though,
we
by
were
the way,
younger.
not 5
Yeah.
years ago, because we were still
5 to
adults
10. Well, yeah,
5
that's
years
true.
ago. But yeah, when we were younger, when we were kids, yeah, she used to buy a lot of that stuff, and it was pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Even like let me say, like now in adulthood and stuff, like 5 years over ago, used to have tuna and stuff at a certain price, like
50 cents.
or then it went up to like 60 something cent, 90 something cent. Now it gets to $1 or whatever. Some people might say that's still cheap, especially if you're living in the Caribbean, where like in my country, things are ridiculous when it comes to food.
Yeah.
Because we talk about Canada, we can't even talk about Barbados at this
Yeah.
point, because Barbados, where the food prices are ridiculous. But yeah, but you know, as people have said, dollar is a dollar in a man country, so therefore, you know, everybody does have their struggles. But because we have an idea of how it is in both countries, we can kind of like compare. But you can't survive. You can still survive, and
Yeah.
I find the problem is that with the cheaper, the unhealthy foods are more cheaper. Right, and so you will come down and you will want to eat healthy, especially when you come down with these diseases or illnesses like endometriosis for me and PCOS with Tony, or which she hasn't really been diagnosed with, but you know, she may have had some symptoms or whatever with it. And other illnesses for other people like cancer and this thing, you know, diabetes and whatever other illness, hypertension, all these other illnesses, right? That I find a lot of it has to do with the foods you eat.
Correct.
And the fact that there's so many chemicals inside of the food as well. So technically, sometimes I get the feeling that they're trying to make us sick with the food we eat, and then we go to the doctors to spend all the money in the world, buy all the medication for the most expensive money, the most expensive price. and then the cycle continues, because then you go back and buy the same food again to eat, because you gotta eat to survive. Then you gotta go to the doctor, then you gotta buy the medication, and it's the same thing over and over. But when you try now to make a difference, see, you try to tell yourself, okay, well, I'm gonna try things a different way to make myself better. Because truth be told, medication is not, I'm gonna be honest, medication is not a cure. Medication is a mask. It helps. It will, like, for example, if you have extreme pain, you might take some pills or whatever that can help you mask the pain or whatever. It might help with the pain or whatever, but half the times medication just causes more issues.
Right.
Because it's not natural, and so you will find you take medication for one issue, and you will get another issue coming up. Right, and then you got to take another set of medication for that specific issue. But so you tell yourself you want to come and try to like make a difference and try to eat healthy. Then you have like the healthy foods skyrocket. You can't even really afford them. For us, we buy it regardless. Like, I can't really be bothered, you know, because we do want to be as healthy as possible, especially given our background in terms of, especially for me, in terms of illness. But yeah. is very expensive, even in terms of like chicken and stuff. Now I see chicken for like 20 something dollars or whatever. And sometimes it's just like the legs. I don't even see the wings anymore, but I see the legs or like sometimes you might got like 3, 4 the leg attached to the tire or whatever, and it's like 20, 25, 26, whatever dollars. So
what I was saying too is that I just want to allude to something Shani just said. In terms of eating healthy, they keep bringing over in the media. Oh, you gotta eat healthy. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. But what are you doing for the people who want to try to eat healthy? You making everything cheap. That is bad. But the things that are good, we are paying too much money for it. When it should be the other way around, because it would discourage persons to buy healthy and leave out the unhealthy because of price, right? But
and then what is healthy or what they claim is healthy is filled with chemicals.
Right.
Because you have the farms now, you're growing the fruits and the vegetables and they're spraying it all with chemicals. All you're ingesting is chemicals.
Yeah.
And you gotta try to like research how to get off this chemical off of this, and it's not like you don't know for a fact if you're getting everything off. Is like at the end of the day you just gotta do what you gotta do. But it's very difficult to be able to be healthy when you have so many things coming at you at once.
Yeah.
And
that is why you see here in Canada and in the Caribbean, you're gonna always have the pros and cons, because in Barbados you're gonna get fully organic. These people gonna be growing their own foods. You never gotta worry about if something gonna go bad right away. You understand? But here now, the food is now like grown, like what is call it?
I think I know you mean by Canada.
Yeah, like genetically modified or something to that point, and those things aren't healthy. So that's one thing that I really miss about Barbados, being able to have healthy foods that actually come from the earth. I was in Barbados at one point and I picked spinach from the actual vine. I didn't have to go to the store to get spinach. I had it free, but we can't grow the vine here, right? Because of the cold temperatures and what's not. But it's neither here or there. I shouldn't just say. You just gotta do what you have to do. Try to live as healthy as possible, but still don't stress about it, because if you do, then you're gonna end up killing yourself anyways.
Well, the thing is, first of all, I have 2 points. In terms of Barbados, now, I find like back then we used to have the organic foods. I find now you can have organic foods, but I find it's more kind of a trickery type of thing. Like I find people talk about buying fruits and vegetables and they're bad, or they're being sold, messed up fruits and vegetables. But of course, like Tony said, you can still go there and you can still pick fruits. You can still pick the spinach, get coconut water, fresh coconut water
with jelly.
Yes, you can still get breadfruit. You can still get all these different things, which is a definite pro. And then in Canada now, for the supermarket, I would have to say, like, I would really appreciate though if they would put what's organic plain and simple and what's not. Because for example, bananas, you see that they have bananas and then they'll have organic bananas. You can see which is organic from which is not organic. But then all the other fruits and vegetables, I just see they just have it like regular. And some people prefer to buy organic, and I would hope that if it's organic, I would hope that they're like they mean that it's organic. If it's organic, they're not trying to trick people,
Right. Cause that's another problem too.
Yeah, cause you want that when something says organic, that it actually is organic, right? But I mean, food is always something that you're gonna be like, it's gonna be a struggle because, like we said, the prices could go up for the healthy food. So.
And the prices are down for the unhealthy. So what are you gonna do if I'm working for like $50,000 a year and I got like 4 children? What am I gonna do? Spend all my money in the healthy foods?
And that's the thing. A lot of children just naturally go for unhealthy foods because they have to feed them. Right. And students tend to go for unhealthy foods too because
They're not working.
They don't really have the time either to really prepare those healthy meals. And then another thing I want to talk about too is also the the food that get delivered to you that's supposed to be healthy. Like I used to buy fruits and vegetables from a market that they were supposed to deliver these things. I mean, you try so many different things to be healthy.
Right.
We used to go to markets. We used to order from markets to get delivery, and I find that in the beginning stages it was okay, but then I find they start, because they're the ones picking it, because they're delivering it to you. They start giving you old stuff or things that in tutus are turning bad, So
you just gotta be careful and also pray and ask God to help you to try to live a healthy and peaceful life without any issues.
But back to the question about the prices being different. They have definitely changed from 5 years, 10 years ago till now. They've definitely changed. But all you could do is try your best and do what you have to do. Because at the end of the day, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments how you feel about the food prices from 5 years, 10 years ago till now, and also you can comment and let us know how you feel about the food and eating healthy and whatever. So please like,
share,
and subscribe
to the lips.
It looks like my sister's in a rush. Until next time, Canada and Barbados and wherever else watching.
Toodaloo.